Road, just coming out of the little car park where I've just been setting up the camera to see if it works okay. Hopefully it'll stay affixed to the little device I have on my windscreen to do this when I'm using sat-nav. Right, so coming up the bypass here on the eastern side of the town, coming to the roundabout where I'll turn right onto the A421 to approach the roundabout from the east. Okay, this roundabout makes sense, of course. Hatching's in the right sort of place, everything works fine. It is only single carriageway, of course, but here we go. Right, obviously badges now on my right, looking out for these luminous or reflective sticks that have been put in. Just seen a car there pull out of badges. I think taking a bit of a risk. I think turning right out of badges now is quite a hazardous thing to do, turning right into badges, trying to avoid the potholes. One day the county council will work out a way of putting in potholes that don't actually stop working after about a year. Right, so planting on the left, coming up to the roundabout, I'm going to turn left at this point towards Tesco's. Lanes are indicated right and left and straight on in both lanes, going over the new Pelican crossing. Looking out for cars from my left, from my right rather, nothing coming my way. Fairly straightforward left-hand turn in towards Tesco's. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn right, I'll go around the roundabout and come back towards the roundabout, and this time I'm going to be turning left again to see how that works out in practice. Okay, so a bit tedious, I know. This could be quite a long movie, maybe a new genre of movies to test the safety of roundabouts. I don't know, maybe, who knows. I'm conscious that people might listen to this conversation as I'm driving along, trying to make it as interesting as possible. Right, okay, I'm going to go in the middle and see if I can turn left at this point, because the lane does indicate that you can go into the middle. So I'm now currently in the middle going left, and there was a car on my inside going left as well. Interesting. That feels a bit counterintuitive to me. Now got two lanes going down to one. I'm going to shift into the inside lane and before I need to. Just gone past the Midway on the right, and of course Slade on my left. Coming up to the next roundabout, again I'll do a U-turn around this roundabout by Aldi's here, on the view to see how that can go forth. What I'm interested to do really when I get back to the roundabout is try doing the going straight on in the left-hand lane. This seems to be the most controversial of journeys around the roundabout, where people are not expecting you to do this. Now, the question has to be, does this actually feel right? Because I think the problem with it being a left-hand lane is you have to swing out quite far to actually get all the way around the roundabout to go straight on. So I will do that, looking at the new fencing here on the left-hand side by the Midway. Smoothish roads, are they breaking up yet? No, it looks okay at the moment, but who knows what will happen when it gets to a winter or two. Fairly bumpy, I have to say, for a new road. You can probably see that in the way in which the camera is bouncing around. Right, so I'm in the left-hand lane of the three lanes that now approach the roundabout. I'm going to follow the instructions and go all the way around the roundabout like the car in front of me is. Okay, person there didn't come out. Didn't feel too bad going around that way. If you knew what you were doing, that probably wasn't too bad. But it does feel a bit strange to be going in the left-hand lane and going straight on, I have to say. Doesn't feel right. Right, it's getting a bit boring now, because obviously we're going back towards Badgers once more. Going to do the roundabout again. Person turning to turn right into Badgers Way. Just have to say I wouldn't. Well, yeah, it shouldn't be too busy, I guess, to be able to do that most of the time. So yeah, houses being built in Lace Hill. Still a lot more to build. Not sure how many have gone up so far. I'm guessing around about 400 so far. But I don't know. Still quite a few more yet to build. Right, up to the I don't know, what do we call this roundabout? This is we'll call it the Old Thatched Inn roundabout. The pub, gastro and Adstock sponsored this roundabout. There we go, give them a quick advert. Artisan food market, by the way, coming up soon, this Sunday, that's today, in the town centre. People won't have seen this. You're watching this now on Monday, you were too late, but it was a good affair by all accounts, like all the other artisan food markets. Right, here we go up, A421 again, still a few little 40-mile speed limit signs. There again, the potholes do tend to slow you down. You wouldn't want to go too much faster over those potholes. Right, this time I'm going to go straight on. So back up the A421. It's the kind of straight on routes over the 421 that seem to be problematic in the main. So I'm in the outside lane, indicating that I can go straight on. I've got a car coming up on my inside at the moment. Don't quite know where he's going. He's not turning left at the moment. Okay, right, so we've got several cars coming around, having to hop over the various lanes. I'm now in the middle lane and of the roundabout, turning left, watching out for the cyclist. It's just crossing the road. Okay, I'm going to turn right this time to Meadway and then turn around to Meadway and come back to the roundabout. So I'll just sit here in the central reservation in the hope that I can get around fairly easily. Okay, so lots of cars obviously coming up, even though it's Sunday afternoon at about 1:40. A very busy road, as we know, most of the time. Okay, I need to put my handbrake on now because obviously a lot more traffic than I was expecting there to be. I'm not going to get past these trials very quickly. Anyway, looking forward to seeing all the planting and the soundproofing, which you can't see at the moment because it's behind me, but there will be some more being put up. There might even be some more, I think, just to my left here. Right, I can now turn left. There's nobody coming out of Meadway, so I should be able to do just a quick U-turn here. Watch out for cars coming up. No, I'm clear, I'm alright. So this time I'm going to turn right and follow the sign. So the only way I can turn right on this roundabout is to be in this right-hand lane. So I'll follow this round, seeing where this actually takes me. Right, I'm now presented with quite a difficult turn because the car's coming, let's see, there's a car coming from my right, coming the Tesco end of things. I've now got to swing across quite a long way where this hatching is. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this hatching is. I'm following the lane around, which tends to swing me out into the outside lane, and I can now get through. Okay, again, it feels quite a sharp turn to have had to actually take onto the roundabout there. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel smooth. I'm a bit worried that cars on my left will occupy the lane that I'm meant to be going into. So I'm not sure if anybody else has had an experience of that, but I think that's, for me, one of the problems that we're probably experiencing. So I'm going to now go back to the roundabout, and this time I'm going to go straight over back into town, and then let's see where that takes us. So the only way of doing that is to be in the middle lane, I think. Yes, the middle lane. Yep, here we are, the middle lane. Watching for cars, obviously, on my right. Nothing's coming. Get into this lane here. Move it around. Oh, that's quite a tight turn there to get around and into town. Okay, right. I've now got a car on my tail. There's not much I can do. I think I'll actually stop it there. I'm going to pull into the Swanpool car park and then turn the camera off when I'm stopped safely. But on the basis that it's there are some sharp turns on there, I still think the left-hand lanes are counterintuitive, and I think that's where the risk is going to be. Right, here we are, the building of the new Swan Pool. Don't know how that's going to be going. Let's just get through here, and then we'll get back onto the road and try a few more journeys. What I haven't done yet, I think, oh, there we go, is go round the roundabout, turning right from this direction. That's what I need to test. I think if I remember rightly, and you'll know, viewer, whether I've done all these journeys so far, I've now turned left from this direction, I think. Or I did once before I was filming it, that's right. That's fairly straightforward. Turning left here is not difficult. Going straight on here is more problematic. I'm going to try and turn right and see how that works for me here. So let's get into the right-hand lane. This lane splits that into two. Right-hand lane coming up, no cars coming, at least one that I can get around. And then I could choose either of those two lanes, but I'm going to stay in this lane. Again, a very, very tight corner as you go around that roundabout there. I've now got a car on my left-hand side that seems to want to go faster than me, even though I'm now doing 40 miles an hour, and this is the speed limit for this stretch of road. Okay, I'm going to now drive into the inside lane. But cars sweeping up on the inside there, I think it's going to be a little bit tricky at times, especially if they've chosen a different route around the roundabout. Okay, now then, let's see what else. We'll do a U-turn around this roundabout. Coming back this way, I've turned left. I have turned... I've lost track of which routes I've taken. I'm trying to test it for all which ways. I'm not sure I'll do the full permutation, because that could get to be really quite a tedious and long movie, as I've indicated before. But if I can get this... let's see, going straight on we've done. Going left, again, is not that difficult. And I've done the turning right. What I'm concerned about here is if I do the straight on but in the middle lane, which is where I can go. So I can go in the outside lane here. Very bumpy road for a new road, it has to be said. And let's see, still no signage up, by the way. Still waiting. Oh, there's some there just been put in. Okay, right. So we're in the middle lane now. So I'm entitled to go round the roundabout. Now here I have to really take a very hard left to get into the right place on the roundabout. I'm then indicating now to come off, and I'm going straight on. Again, it's not a problem when you actually come off the roundabout. The problem is when you actually enter the roundabout itself. Okay, right. So, what would be another journey worth doing? What one haven't I done, let me think? Right, I'll go and turn around the roundabout again as per. Cars slowing here, doing 40 mile speed limit. There are some serious potholes on this piece of road. It does seem as if the county council or rather Transport for Bucks are rather good at filling in potholes that last about 12 months. I don't know why we can't have some sort of warranty scheme whereby if a pothole falls apart within, say, I don't know, 3 years or 5 years, something of that order, then whoever did the pothole originally should have to fix it again for no cost. That might then inspire people to do potholes that actually don't decay, because otherwise they're going to keep going back to potholes and they're going to have to incur that cost. I don't know whether that's been investigated. I don't know whether there's a kind of warranty scheme already in place. But I do think it's something investigating. And now I'm trying to position my car so I don't have to go over these potholes. Right, I've turned left, I've gone straight on. What I haven't done here from this direction, I don't think, is turned right into town. I think I'm going to do that and then probably call it a day. I think I've done most routes, so I'm indicating right now, being undertaken by this car on my left-hand side, with no cars coming. Again, I'm not sure which lane I'm meant to be in. I'm now in the right-hand lane. This is where it gets very confusing, because actually to come off left, you've actually got to cross two lanes, which you shouldn't really have to cross. That's a big problem. That's a serious problem. Other things are difficult to do, but I think that's where it actually gets very, very difficult and indeed hazardous, because you're not put into the right lane, turning right into town as you come to town. Okay, I'm going to pull up next to the school now, turn this off and upload this, and I'll be interested in anybody else's comments on what I've been doing. How does my narration and driving, hopefully I've been driving reasonably safely, match your own experience of going around the roundabout. So I just pull in here so that I'm safely pulled up, and then I can then turn the camera off.